Alright, so today for Tech Friday, we're going to go over how to display random YouTube shorts during a Be Right Back scene, or any scene you want, really. It's just, we're copying Stephen Joy's here, and except he uses a different bot, and I use Streamer.Bot. And at PAX U, Zero asked me, well, how can we do this in Streamer.Bot? So I'm like, okay, let me figure this out. And I figured it out. And Herb helped me with understand a little bit of code and what I needed to do. And that all led to today. So, it's a lot. Now, if you have a question on anything we're about to do, please ask. Just type it in chat. We'll stop. We'll go over it. Because this can be a lot. At least it was a lot for me. So, hopefully, cut through some of that for y'all. And let's get into it, shall we? Let's boop on over to the demo window. All right. So, what you'll need. Look, I got a fancy thing. Yeah, check that out. Text, everything. Need OBS. Hey, look, a link appeared in chat for OBS. Yeah. You also need the Advanced Scene Switcher plugin for OBS. You'll need Streamer.Bot, and you'll need YouTube Shorts. And that's, of course, a cheap plug to my YouTube Shorts. If you haven't installed plugins in OBS before, you can very easily do that. You click the link that I provided. When the bot plays random shorts, does that count as a play for YouTube? Like, does the view count go up? No. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Not unless you click the link associated with the short. But we will get to that in a little bit in the step where you get the YouTube short set up here. So for Advanced Scene Switcher, just follow the link and there'll be a button to go to download. You go to download and you can find, if you go to the bottom of the, Faison, hello. If you go to the bottom of the GitHub page, that's where the download link will eventually take you. There is a Advanced Scene Switcher Windows x64 installer exe. So if you have Windows, grab the x64 installer file, and it will automatically put everything you need for Advanced Scene Switcher to work into the proper folder and all that. Otherwise, if you want to do it yourself or you're not on Windows, there are other installs you can grab. And Streamer.Bot is a download from Streamer.Bot. It's the bot I use, and got Urban Bohemian on the Streamer.Bot train, so yay. First thing you want to do is, so after you've installed everything, right, you're going to want to set yourself up for success here. So you're going to want to make one or two file folders, up to you. But the first one is, I have YT shorts for text for Streamer.Bot command. You could just put this file in with your YT shorts video, but when I was originally planning this out, I thought I might need them separated. And just create a new file, name it whatever you want, but you got to keep this name consistent, and you got to know the location, because you'll be tracking it. So name this whatever you want, but in various steps, you'll see where you need to remember the name of this file. Click New, and text document, and create a new text document. Don't put anything in it. It'll be filled with variables later on. And then you need a spot for your YT shorts. And you're going to download them off of YouTube, or if you edit them in a video, or in a video editor, and then put them up to YouTube. However you do it, make sure they wind up in a single folder, okay? And this is why the YouTube count doesn't go up, because they are being played locally. They're not being played off YouTube. Getting them to play off YouTube was a much more complicated process. Yeah, this is a lot easier. I talked to Herb quite a bit on, on getting this set up that way, and it's a lot easier if you have them local. So I would suggest, get maybe 10 YouTube shorts in here. Build a profile of shorts that you like out of your YouTube shorts, and add them as you go. Just remember that if you edit video and then place it in this folder, remember to upload it as a YouTube short, because you do need that YouTube short URL. And if for some reason you have never seen a YouTube shorts URL, it looks like that. And what we really need to concern ourselves with is the end there. That bit of code, that bit of the URL is going to carry through this whole entire process. You want to rename your YouTube shorts to have that code in there, whatever you want to do, but it's over there. You got to remember that that's the key to a lot of this, is having that end bit. Once you have everything installed and you have your YouTube shorts made and you have your videos done and you have that text file in a folder somewhere, you're going to want to go into OBS, and this deals with nested scenes. So right down here, you want to create a scene to place your shorts in. And eventually, what's going to happen is you're going to nest that in another scene. And we'll get there. So I'm going to switch over to the short scene. We're in the scene. YouTube short. And here are all my shorts, right? I created that file. These are media sources. And you hit the plus button. And you go media source. And then you add your sources to the file. Now, I named these with the YouTube short extension, or that part of that URL is there in this name. You can name these whatever you want, and then in brackets I gave myself a clue as to what file it is. But you're adding each one as a media source, and then when it comes up, it may not be in the right part of the screen, so you want to hit Control F, and hitting Control F will center the short on screen, and put it right where you need it. Otherwise, if you don't do that, it's going to be off on the side, and it'll look weird when you go to play these later. So put in the media source. You'll see it play weird. Just hit Control F, and it'll be centered where you need them. So you've created your scene. You put the shorts in it. Now you're going to nest the scene. And we're going to go on my BRB screen, but we're not going to be right back, okay? This is part of the demonstration. So here we are on my BRB screen. And what I wanted to show here is that scene we made called All Shorts. You go here, hit the plus, and you add the scene, that scene as a source. So under sources, plus scene, and as you can see here, it's right here, all shorts, and it's not hidden. That's important too. You want to hide once you get your shorts in this scene. You want to hide them because you're going to unhide them later. So have them hidden. You just click this eyeball. That's all you have to do, is click the eyeball, and that'll hide and unhide things. So keep the nested scene active, shown, but everything inside the nested scene, when you go back to shorts, make sure these are all hidden. We have the OBS set up. Now this is where we use the plugin, the Advanced Scene Switcher plugin in OBS. Now that your shorts are there and you have it in the nested scene you need it in, now what you want to do is activate Advanced Scene Switcher. If you've installed it correctly, you'll be going to Docs and Advanced Scene Switcher, and you'll get this window. Now if you have another monitor, this window here may appear in another monitor. I just dragged it over. And then what you're going to want to do is hit this button here to get into the Advanced Scene Switcher settings, which, bam, appeared right here. I'm going to drag this over to another window. The General tab will come up, probably. Just make sure that Advanced Scene Switcher is active. Start the Scene Switcher if it was running. Just, on startup on OBS, just make sure this is on. You just want Advanced Scene Switcher to come on the moment you start OBS, right? And you really don't have to touch anything else here unless you want to, unless you're doing other things with Advanced Scene Switcher. That's up to you to learn. But here's where things start coming together. All these separate pieces we're now going to start putting together. So you want to create macros. So you click macro. And this here, notice I have URLs for shorts demo. This is just an empty macro. And I just have it so these are all URL. And this top window, these are if-then statements, basically. This top window is if, and this bottom window is then. And then you hit the plus to create it. You hit the plus to create the then statement. I know it's confusing having the plus in the middle, but this plus will do this top window. And this plus will do this bottom window. All right, so let's go to the giant baby head. Now I have if scene item visibility on all shorts, right? So on the scene I created that I put my shorts in. So I put all my YouTube videos or YouTube Shorts videos are in the all shorts scene. So if the scene visibility is this source, now again I use the last bit of the YouTube short URL to identify it, is visible, and you can set all these with these arrows. Then what I want it to do is go to File. Again, there's a bunch of things you can do here. Clipboard, audio, whatever. Then I want the file to write to that text file I created earlier. And what I want it to write is that last bit of that URL of that particular short. I don't need the whole link, and we'll get into that in a minute as well. But just that last bit of the URL is all you need to write to that text file. And you have to set a macro up for each video if you want this to work. So as you can see, I have, what was it, 7 different ones here. So each one, and you can, once you make one, you can right click, duplicate macro, and then just quickly change the items around. So you might have to go to your YouTube Shorts directory on YouTube and copy and paste this from the URL into here. So what you're doing is every time this particular source is visible, you're writing the end of the URL to this text file that you've created. That's all this is doing. And this was probably one of the easier ways to do this. There may be a way to do this straight in Streamer.Bot, but that got confusing to figure out. So I just did if-then statements in here, and it works magically using Advanced Scene Switcher. So now we have OBS. Everything in OBS is set up. All our files are ready. Now we go into Streamer.Bot. And so in Streamer.Bot, you're going to make 3 actions. I have them in a group called YouTube Shorts. And what you do is you right-click, add, and then you type the name, whatever you want, group. That's what will appear in blue. Whatever you want to name these, it's up to you. And then you'll create an action. So we have 3 actions. We have the action that enables the shorts. Again, you can name these whatever you want. We have the action that stops the shorts. And we have the action that calls the shorts to play on stream. This is the complex one here. Because our goal is to have a random short appear when people select the channel redeem, we want to, and I only want the channel redeem to appear during my BRB screen. So that's what these 3 actions allow us to do. So because I want to pick a random scene source, I want it to play a random video in the sub-actions folder here. So OBS, scenes, set random scene source visible. Okay, so this is essentially we're saying grab one of those videos that I have hidden in OBS in this particular scene and turn it on so people can see it. Just grab a random one. Now I want Streamer.Bot to display the URL in Twitch chat of that video that's playing. Now, we set it up so that Advanced Scene Switcher is doing the writing of the variable we need to that text file. I added a delay here, and that's just in core delay right up top here. I added a delay here because it does take just like a half second or less for Advanced Scene Switcher to write that URL to our text file. So this delay here, I can probably shorten this delay, but this is just here to give Advanced Scene Switcher time to write that the end of that URL to the text file. And then the command starts further. Now we have it reading the lines from file. So read lines from the YouTube Shorts. Again, you can see where I my path to it. Core file IO read lines from file. So it's going to read. It's going to the source that's visible. Advanced Scene Switcher now will go write the URL of that short into this file. Streamer.Bot will go, okay, I need that, and then you set an argument for Streamer.Bot to grab, and you can name this argument whatever you want. So core arguments, set argument, and this comes up, variable name, value. So in this, my variable name is YT Shorts URL. That's just, you can name this whatever, but this is going to be the variable you use to place that end URL. And then you want to tell it, this is the important bit where it can't be a random whatever you want. You want to tell it to %line 0%. So you're basically what you're saying is, I need YT Shorts URL to equal the very first line, which Streamer.Bot understands as line 0 in that text file, and say it and make it this variable for me. So it's grabbing that little end piece of the URL and going, okay, I have you now. You are now this variable string of numbers and letters. And then we have the Twitch message going to chat, which is just Twitch and chat and send message to channel. And then you can see how it sets up. So I have my bot. And then when the short's playing, it says now playing youtube.com, https youtube.com/shorts, %YT Shorts URL %. So now it's grabbing that variable, it's grabbing the last bit of the URL. Sometimes you can get away with not setting a variable, but some sub-actions immediately clear the global variable. So grab it while you got it. Yep. So now it's grabbing that end of the URL, and it'll just automatically put in the link to that short in my chat. And I don't have to put in, I don't have to make the text in that file https : I can just use the end letter number symbol combo, right? So I'm taking that, and then that way it posts, you can go right to that video in YouTube. Now, if you want to drive up the YouTube views on the short, click on the link, and then it'll identify as a view of that short on YouTube. Then there's a delay. Because YouTube Shorts go a minute long, can potentially go a minute long, I don't know what short it's grabbing. I have no clue. So because YouTube Shorts can be a minute long, I have a delay set up for a minute and a little more, which this is in milliseconds. So I may not need the 100 here. I could probably just make it all, 60,000 milliseconds. But I added just a little extra buffer for fun. And I don't know what short it's going to grab. So I want to make sure that it's visible for the entire time a short is visible. And then what it does is it hides all the scene sources are set to hide. And that way, it not only hides it, but it also removes the audio will go away and everything, and it'll just be hidden. And everything will reset back to hidden, and that's it. Oh, we haven't gone over the channel point reward part yet, have we? No, not it. But that's the big lot. There's a lot of parts there. So if you have any questions on it, please ask, because there was a lot, and we're not done quite yet. So then in triggers, you want this to come up at a certain time. So you set it for a Twitch reward redemption. So you go here, Twitch, channel reward redemption, and you get this action, and you can get an action here. I'll show you what that looks like. Where you go, channel reward reward redemption. So then you can say, so you want to go create reward. This is where you name it. So where, like I named mine Summon Shorts. So this is where you name your reward. Prompt, whatever you want to say when people hover over. How many channel points it costs. If you only want it used a certain amount per stream, or if you only want a certain number of people do it, you can set a global cooldown on the short. I have a global cooldown just to allow everything to run and shorts aren't playing on top of themselves. And that's your variable. So when you get, basically when you activate the reward redemption summon shorts, this whole action occurs. Now you can also see this once you create it in platforms, Twitch, channel point rewards. And since mine's called Summon Shorts, it's right here. I can edit this command here, right? So here's the title of what the short is going to be named, what the channel point redeem is going to be named. Here's what it says when you hover over it. It costs 200 channel points. We have a 70-second cooldown just because a YouTube short, again, lasts a minute, so a little buffer, and by the time everything's hidden again, and a little more time has passed, the channel point reward is ready to go again. Now the other two variables that allow things to happen. Because I only want this channel point reward to be available when I go to my BRB screen, I have these two actions, enable and stop. Again, nope, you can't see them because they are behind my head. Let's move that over. Enable and stop. Again, you can name these whatever you want. You just got to be consistent with the name. So enable short. So when the OBS scene is changed to the BRB scene, that's the trigger. Reward set enabled state, summon shorts is enabled. So trigger, OBS scene changed, and then you list your, the scene, and that'll create the trigger. Again, you go to Twitch, rewards, set enabled state, right down here at the bottom of the window. Then you just select the channel point redeem, whatever you named it, and that turns it on during the BRB screen. Well, now, when it's not on the BRB screen, I want it off. That's what the stop shorts does. So here we say reward set enabled state, just like before, but now summon shorts disabled. And the triggers are, if I change to any of these scenes, summon shorts is off. So it reads, if I'm on, this is the demo window. So when I'm on this window, it'll go, oh, that needs to be off, and I turn it off. There's probably an easier way to do this, but right now, this worked for me. I tried doing it with some variables, and it just wasn't working. But if I have all the scenes separately, now remember, these aren't your nested scenes or anything. These are just the main scenes you're calling up. So it's just disabled, and it stays off. Because it can go, okay, you're on this scene. This is off. Okay, I get that. And then the only time it's on is when I have it enabled on the BRB screen. You'll notice that I have background music playing during my BRB screen. And that cuts out and reduces when the short plays. How to do that? So in order to do this, in my BRB screen, there's another plugin called Source Clone. Okay, here's the Source Clone, and you need this for a specific reason. All right, and once you have Source Clone in, I'll point out that DC is talking through the process of exactly how you can figure out these more complex actions and interactions. I want this to happen when I do this, etc. Why? Thank you. What you need to do is once you install that Source Clone plugin, again, you click download, and it has an installer zip, so it will automatically install for you. Okay, and what I wanted to do was set my Spotify audio so that it turns down anytime the shorts start up. And I had to use Source Clone and put a Source Clone in the scene here. As you can see, I have all shorts clone. So once you install it, you go plus to Source Clone, say okay, and then clone type. Well, I want to clone a source. What source do I want to clone? I want it to clone all shorts. So you want it to clone your shorts scene that you made in OBS, okay? And then you can hide this. You don't need it visible. But I'll show you the properties here. So as you can see, I have source, all shorts, right? Video buffer none. Turn the audio on. That's all you have to do for the shorts clone, is just make sure that you're cloning the source. And your source is whatever you named the scene that you keep your shorts in. That's a statement, eh? Where do you keep your shorts? Okay, so so you want to do that, hide that here. So once you've made your clone, you do that. Then you can see I have go back to the magnifying glass here. I have the Spotify sound coming through one channel on my mixer. And then this where we go right click, filters. And here, the way to make ducking happen, which ducking is basically making an audio source quiet while another source is doing its thing. And for this, you need the compressor filter right here. The compressor filter comes with OBS, so there's nothing special you have to do to get it. And you hit compressor, okay. Now, you can set all these things, right, for different things. But what you want to do to enable ducking, you set this as source. The compressor action does not do ducking unless you set a source for the ducking to occur. And because of the way it works, this is why you want to have it be the all short, your clone. And so you just select your all shorts clone, or whatever you called that clone thing, as the ducking source. So now, when it's on, the ducking will occur. Now you gotta set your output gain as well for the sound to decrease. But now here's my cloned scene of all shorts, and I can add it as a ducking thing. If you don't clone the scene, because you can't add a scene here, you have to add a source. So you need your shorts to be a clone, and it'll enable the ducking, and you don't want any, it just remains invisible the whole time on your list over here. Okay, so you set that. So now when this activates, it goes, oh, I need to be ducking. I need to be lowering the volume of this by how much? Well, that's where you put in the threshold. So I reduced it down to, I'll re-add that, and you can see the difference between, so right, it's a 10-to-1 ratio, and then just put the threshold down. I have the attack at 1 millisecond, the release at 600, no gain, but that way when it starts, it goes, oh, I need to reduce down your Spotify music by a bunch because this is active, so let me reduce your Spotify down by a bunch, or whatever audio channel this happens to be, and then when it's done, it will wait a little bit. That's the release here. So attack, as soon as another audio starts, it goes, oh, I need to lower this down. So in 1 millisecond, it should lower it down. And then release, when that source is done, it'll come back in 600 milliseconds. So it's a little easier of a transition coming back to full volume. It isn't just a sudden thing. And you can change this to whatever you would like. So play with these, whatever works for you. This, I just turned it down and that's good enough. So you might be able to hear a little bit of the music while the short's playing, which is fine, but it should be very, very tiny in the background. And so that is audio ducking. Also explained how you can audio duck your anything in OBS using OBS source clone, or the source clone plugin. If you want to do ducking and you have this complex thing made up, that's how you do it. Use the compressor filter. The compressor filter has various other effects too, if you're not ducking, so you might need it for other things, but if you're doing ducking, the compressor filter is your friend. That should be everything. I forgot about the audio ducking there. But yeah, so that again, that's a lot. Go back, watch the video. So now we are going to take a break. Really this time. And you can activate the shorts and see what I've been talking about in action. When we come back, once again, we're going over CES 2024. All right, see you then. Okay. Wisdom is my best. We're going to try it. It'll probably be hard, but... Sure. Go eat the brain then. Look, a 23. You think I'm gonna fail that one? I mean, you know. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all on Monday. All right. Have a great weekend. Bye.